Hey, welcome back. In this episode, I'm going to talk about what is a CRM and what does it do and why the heck would you even need one? All right, to kick off this video, I'm going to explain to you what is CRM and how you can organize your actual leads. Two, how to stop worrying, by actually getting a database with your leads in it. And three, finally, is your database worth pure gold? We'll find out in this video, so stay tuned. All right, so I have multiple companies and it's hard to keep track of all of it. Sometimes before I had a CRM, an actual customer relationship manager, that's what a CRM is. That's all it is. At the end of the day, it's just a database of all my customers. So I have multiple business. Let's talk about my land business. In our land business, we have land sellers and we have land buyers. So my CRM is the place where the land sellers and the land buyers go. And our house business, we have house sellers and we have house buyers. So each one of these buyers and sellers on each business has their own database. So it allows us to keep track of everything. So as our phones ring, we get to figure out what phone number it's coming from. As the email comes in, we figure out what email it's coming from. Each one of these phone numbers and emails have a specific tracking code that tells me this is a land buyer, this is a land seller, this is a house buyer, this is a house seller. And if you want to even complicate it even further, you put your rental business in that database. So that's what a great database is. That's what a CRM or a customer relationship manager is. So let's keep it simple. Let's break it down. Let's only plan on like one avenue of business. And let's just say that's our land business. So we put out ads that have phone numbers that are very specific to people selling land. So when they call that phone number, we now know we're speaking to a land seller, and then it goes directly into our database, their phone number, the name that's on their caller ID, and then we put our notes in of how the conversation goes. And what's really cool about it is we have questions. What does the land look like? Why would you consider selling it? What's the lease you would take if we can close in the next couple weeks? So we have all these questions, and then we fill out the answers next to it. So when we talk to the seller a year later, this business is all about follow-up. So sometimes we have to talk to a seller for years, or sometimes, they might sell us to that day. They might sell us the land that day. But those are what we call the low-hanging fruit or the layups. That doesn't happen that often. So when we're talking about what is a CRM and what does it do, I want to talk to you about why a CRM is so valuable. I used to be known as like the sticky note guy. People would come into my office when I was an Army officer and they would see like sticky notes all over my computer. Or they'd get in my car and they'd get out and the sticky note would be sticking to their butt and they'd be walking around with it. I was known as the sticky note guy, but here's the thing. It might be funny, but I was not calling half of these leads back. When I say leads, these are people that I spent money to advertise to sell me their land or their house that I didn't call them back. I might as well have just literally opened the window and threw out a $100 bill every time I didn't call back one of those Post-it notes or the sticky notes. So that's why a CRM is so important, because each day it tells me the people that I need to call back, when I need to call them back, and how often. It tells me exactly what to do. Or hey, you need to go look at this piece of land, or hey, you need to go look at this house. So it is very valuable, because if you're not leveraging a CRM, you don't have a business. So if you're getting any value out of this, slam that subscribe button and go to bed a little smarter tonight. Warren Buffett says, go to bed a little smarter each day. So if you hit that subscribe button, you're gonna get more content like this from me, and you go to bed a little smarter each night. So in business, your network equals your net worth. So as you go through business for a while, you might think today, well, I'm not doing much, or I'm just starting out. I want you to plan right now where you want to be, not where you currently are. So you want to start putting things in place, business structures in place. What if you wanted to sell this business 5 years from now? That might not even be in your mind, but you want to start setting it up to where you would have a sellable company one day. You don't want to be the solopreneur, the only person that can read your sticky notes or your notebook. Let's just say you have to hire someone, or you get sick, or a family member gets sick, or you're told you only have a certain amount of time to spend with this beloved family member, and you need to put someone in the position to do your job. If you put them in front of your CRM that's got all the notes in it, when you're supposed to call these people back, someone can pick up where you're leaving off. So treat it like that. Treat it as serious as I just mentioned that. You got to treat this as a business. Business is an intellectual sport. It is not for everybody. but you want to set up a CRM. That is one of the first steps of actually having a business. And let's go back to your network is your net worth. I have over 10,000 buyers in my CRM now. I didn't start there. It took me 6 years to get there. But if I were putting them on sticky notes and notepads and Excel spreadsheets, man, it would have just never happened. Now I have a beautiful system. It gives me the address, it gives me the areas that they like, how much acreage that they want, or what type of house, or you name it, how much they've got to spend, what their birthday is, what their email is, what their cell phone number is, what their wife's phone number is. These things, these are all part of your business, and this is what you can sell with your business. You're selling these contacts. So I just mentioned I have 10,000 cash buyers. I, once a week, can promise you this. I have a brand new real estate investor or a brand new wholesaler or someone just getting started in land that reaches out to me and says, hey, I have this house on Main Street. It's in Colorado Springs. I don't have any buyers. Can you help me blast this out to your list? And people give me 50% of that wholesale fee that we collect. Sometimes we collect a $75,000 wholesale fee that we split 2 ways. This list has paid me hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars. So taking it back to that $75,000 wholesale fee, me and that brand new wholesaler got to split that $75,000, and I was able to do it just because I had that list. And that wholesaler was able to make that huge assignment fee on a house that he got under contract just because he knew who to call. And that gives them so much confidence. Like when you get a brand new wholesaler, a deal like that, you give them so much confidence. They're going to keep coming back and coming back and coming back. And then also, there's other people out there that will pay you. I mean, they pay you to use that list. We don't just send an email out for free or a text message out for free. We get paid very handsomely to do it. So why is it called a customer relationship manager? It's all about the middle word, the relationship. At the end of the day, I don't like that word customer. Maybe we can call it client relationship manager. I don't like the word manager either. No one wants a manager, but the relationships. Everyone wants a relationship. People do business with people that they know, like, and trust. So that's why it's called a client relationship manager. So you might be thinking, oh my goodness, where do I start, or how do I even start this? I had no clue. So I've been through multiple CRMs. And I'll tell you one thing, when your company is changing from one CRM to another, you probably aren't making much money because you're focused on the CRM. So I want to give you a gift, and it's going to be below in the description, but these are my developers that actually built my CRM for you. And if you go to youreasycrm.com, you could have them today as well. And they will set it all up for you no matter where you're starting at. You can either be doing $5 million in business or $5 in business, and they could set you up exactly where you need to be with all the bells and whistles, and you don't have to think about any of this. Guys, don't try and do everything yourself. Do what you do best and contract out the rest. So I want to move to my final point about, organization keeping you up at night. That way you don't have to worry. If you properly organize your business, I promise you will have less sleepless nights. And that's what a CRM did for me. When I knew that my contacts were coming in properly, my buyer contacts, my seller contacts, my land contacts, my rentals, you name it. When all these things started working properly, and it's mostly because of these guys over at Your Easy CRM, the Modi team, they gave me so much more sleep at night knowing that this is handled, knowing that all the phone numbers work and that all the form fills where you go online and fill out a form or you send an email, knowing that all these things are working properly and that our calls are getting routed to the right person has given me so much more sleep at night. But I didn't start there. I started with me, the one-man band, sending out the letters, taking the phone calls, sending the phone calls, going to the houses, going to the land. I didn't start where I'm currently at, but I kept planning where I wanted to be. So, you want your contact list to be pure gold? Get a CRM. Head on over to youreasycrm.com.